Thank you for that question. For the guys coming online, the question related to currencies and currency conversions and where are they happening in the system and who's responsible and those aspects. Now, the lady, yes, that was the question. That's a fair statement on your question. Great. I want to begin by saying, remember when you created an account, you selected the country in which you resided, and that also set the currency in which your online funds account would transact, and it also set the currency in which you raised funds. We remember that? Okay. So when you create your account, your currency is set. You cannot have multiple currencies, multiple online funds account against a given user account. Each account that you create has one currency associated with it. Okay, so far. When you top up your online funds account, let's say we use the card payment, then if there is any currency conversion required, so what you see here is that your online funds account here is in Aussie dollars. Your card is in Indian rupee. You will pay any currency conversion costs to have 10 Aussie dollars paid into your online funds account. So currency conversion via the payment mechanism into your online funds account occurs, and that's paid for by the user depositing funds. Okay with that one? Good. Now, when you come to release or withdraw funds from your online funds account, it is assumed that you are withdrawing funds in the account, in the currency in which your account operates. So if you type in to withdraw 100 Australian dollars and you give a bank account in the US in US dollars, the Australian dollars will arrive at that bank account in Australian dollars, as you would any normal currency transfer, and then currency conversion costs are incurred by you from that point to convert it to the local currency. Okay, so far. Yes, I see a frown over here. Yep. In 90% of situations, currency conversion isn't going to be a problem, because you're raising funds and engaging with your local community, you're in that country, you're transacting in that currency. We're just covering it off. Great. So, we talked about creating the account and how the currency gets set. We talked about the online funds account, how to top it up, and how to withdraw. Now, when you set up a fundraising activity, I am logged in as our ubiquitous high school here, and I'm going to raise funds for the high school. You see that Australian dollars comes up because that is the currency in which the organisation receiving the funds operates. I cannot set up a fundraising campaign in a different currency. It's logical, yeah? Now, you can contribute to a fundraising campaign in a different currency, let's say from your credit card, and have it converted to Australian dollars in this instance as the donation, but you can't set up a fundraising campaign where the currencies do not match those. So, if you're in the US and you're trading in US dollars and you want to raise funds for an organization in Japan with the yen, you can't do that because the currency conversion costs, the exchange rate issues, the cross-border compliance and all of those sort of things becomes too complicated. You can do this. You're in the US, you have a not-for-profit in the US, you raise money for that not-for-profit. So for example, if you're the Indian community, you raise money in the US for a registered, valid US not-for-profit entity. It can then send those funds from its own bank account to the respective entities in India, covering its own conversion costs to Indian rupee, and that's done outside of the system. Okay, so far. When the funds are dispersed, because there is this currency check on the online funds account, because there's this currency check when you set up a campaign, because there is a currency check when you come to contribute, the problems we have around currency conversion are eliminated. This is good for compliance, saves fees and charges, and all of those sorts of things. Now, the last topic I want to cover is this. When you have set up a tipping competition, let's say, and you have offered a cash prize. Let me just bring the website up. We've set up our tipping competition and we've elected to do a cash prize in here. Where the currencies match, then you can set up the tipping competition and you can offer the cash prize. Where a user coming to do that tipping competition is operating in a different currency, they are not allowed to enter that particular tipping competition because of the currency conversion associated with the transfer from one online funds account to another. So let's summarize this. Where you put money into the system, if there is a currency conversion, it's done by the payment providers and you pay. Once you're inside the system, basically you operate on one currency and that's it. When you come to contribute, if you are paying by card or some other external mechanism, there are currency conversion costs covered by you. Where we're transacting through the online funds account, no currency conversions allowed. The currency is set when you create the account, and the reason for this is the currency conversion costs, the regulatory, the compliance, and all of those sort of things. One last thing. Like I said, in the vast majority of instances, currency conversion is not an issue because you're interacting with your local community. Are we all comfortable there? Thanks.